Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, alleged recipients of multi-million-dollar BPL contracts speak out.
The Ministry of Education receives backlash on incomplete contracts.
Plus, a single mother wins 6 figures.
Our news is brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, Bahamas Power and Light Chairman Donald Osborne says it's a disgrace the manner in which millions of dollars in contracts were awarded at the state-owned power company. Her comments come a day after Works Minister Desmond Bannister revealed abuses at BPL.
It's very sad in our society when we've dropped to the position of having to obtain that our desire for wealth has dropped to such low levels where we are almost prepared to sell our souls.
Not speaking to any company in particular, BPL Chairman Donald Osborne said it was disappointing to discover numerous instances where the tender process was not followed before companies were awarded millions of dollars in contracts. 13 of those companies are said to be bogus, created for the sole purpose of obtaining those contracts. Meanwhile, others like Sunshine Insurance, according to Works Minister Desmond Bannister, were not the winning bidders, but still ended up with the contract. Sunshine Insurance defended those contracts today in a statement which reads, "In the context of a broker in 2013, Sunshine Insurance participated in the BEC BPL seal tender process for the provision of their insurance coverage and was awarded the bid. In 2017, 4 years later, Sunshine Insurance again participated in the seal tender process. The insurance contract was renewed in June 2017 to the period June 2018. The current Minister of Works was in office at the time." According to the Ernst & Young audit, BPL spent some $14 million with Sunshine Insurance during the period under investigation. However, the company insisted, at no stage has Sunshine Insurance ever used any political effort to seek to influence the outcome of a tender process. Sunshine Insurance prides itself on operating to the highest international standards and does not participate in any unlawful or unethical practice. Any statement to the contrary is false. Former Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald also responded to the Works Minister, who revealed yesterday that BPL paid over $2.6 million to Bahamas Courier and Logistics, a company owned by Fitzgerald's father. The former Marathon MP said in a statement, "I am not a beneficiary of any of the proceeds of any such contract if indeed there was one." Fitzgerald insisted that the company in question has maintained a long-standing commercial relationship with BPL dating back to the 1980s, concluding, "The inference that the familial connection with me was the reason for the contract or that I influenced or benefited from the contract are both false and defamatory." While she did not reference any of the companies that received contracts, Osborne said, in light of the revelations made in the Ernst & Young audit, it will not be business as usual at BPL.
To definitely discontinue the political interference, and the executive management have been assured of that, and really get back to the boards deciding strictly on policy and supporting and listening to the executives, and also, as I indicated, weeding out possibly where there may be a few bad apples. We are seeking to do that based on recommendations coming out of the fraud report.
The minister responsible for BPL yesterday said Ernst & Young has been instructed to pursue further investigations. The firm's findings resulted in the dismissal of 3 BPL employees thus far, and according to Osborne, there's more to come.
We are almost to the end of that, as we indicated. We simply, I believe that there's one last one in process, which should be done by the end of this week or coming week.
The new chairman of BPL also weighing in on the reported list of privileged former public officials whose electricity could not be disconnected. She said so far she's been advised that a couple of them have come forward in an effort to settle their bills. However, she says she's not happy that the list was leaked.
It's unfortunate that whomever felt it necessary within the corporation or wherever it was leaked, as I certainly don't support revealing people's personal business information to the public.
Several names were called on that list, including several former cabinet ministers. Osborne said coming from the private sector, she was shocked that such a list actually existed and sought to bring an end to that policy almost immediately.
We don't seek to embarrass anyone. It's just we're trying to ensure that the cash flow situation of the corporation improves. and that going forward, the policy is that everyone will be treated the same, and we will no longer have this inequity in the corporation. So it's just one step in terms of cleaning up and improving the corporation.
In other news, hundreds of contract workers left angry and disappointed after attending a meeting with the Minister of Education this morning to discuss the terms of their contracts and job security. April Sands reports.
Public school contract workers irate today after having a meeting with the Minister of Education, expressing their concerns on what they're calling incomplete contracts.
We need more security, man. And the minister them need to address this. They say they for the people, but who people they for?
So he did not address
No, he left after he made his statement.
Can I stay or should I leave?
And he asked the question, we said stay, but he left.
Hundreds of contract workers in the public education system are demanding more definitive answers to their questions regarding job security. They attended a meeting with Education Minister Jeff Lloyd this morning, but even that did not seem to quell their fears.
So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? I'm prepared. Like I told the lady today, I'm prepared. Tell me as of today, July 1st, your contract is null and void, and you can pay me for the time I've been there, because that's 6 years, and then let me go home to start a sensible life. Let me have some kind of security for me moving forward.
Some workers claim their contracts are vague and don't include key information, like the length of the contract and job description. Many of those workers have been on the job for as long as 10 years, but claim they can't even apply for a bank loan. There's also the issue of benefits.
And making you feel like you're uneducated and don't understand what they're saying. Because at the end of the day, we leave out here, we are not sure that we have a job. Because if you're placed on a contract that doesn't have an end, any minute they can come and say, we no longer need your service. And it's been 7 years, some of us, 6 years. So moving forward, now they're saying to us, we must go back into the system, pretend like this never happened, or playing dolly out that we might have a job, or we think we have a job, and then you have persons who came like 2.5 years, a year, they were made permanent. So I'm saying to you, they're playing politics with people's livelihood and their security, especially a lot of these women are single parents, and we need, where do you find that I'm been employed for 7 years and can't get a job letter?
However, Lloyd says it's just a matter of miscommunication, noting the point of today's meeting was to discuss the way forward with workers.
There was so much confusion when I became the Minister of Education that I made the decision that we are going to have a meeting, face-to-face meeting with all contract workers so that we can explain what a contract worker is, who a contract worker is, what are your obligations and responsibilities, and what are your benefits and privileges, which is what we decided to do this morning. And for many of them, unfortunately, they never knew this, because they were simply sent on a job. You know, they were sent to the Ministry of Education, placed in particular departments, much to the consternation of the executive team here at the ministry. No one requested them, no one asked for them, no one made any demands on the public service for these people. They just happened to show up here.
Lloyd said he's looking into a better way of identifying those workers who are going to put in the actual work. He says the bigger issue has been the process of hiring workers who are not qualified and are not given clear information on their duties. This contract dated March 27, 2017, only welcomes the employee with an effective date and wishes success in their posting. However, the education minister says a contract should outline their duties and department of assignment.
We are going to have a meeting face-to-face. We are going to allow them to ask questions, and so that all of their concerns and doubts and fears may be answered, and we could come to a place of complete understanding. Now, of course, the rumors went out, oh, you're having a contract workers meeting, so that you could tell them that this is the end of it. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Lloyd says he's looking to revamp those contracts with more detailed job descriptions for each position. Reporting for our news, I'm April Sands.
As Hurricane Maria regains strength and rips through parts of the Caribbean, the National Emergency Management Agency warned that the Category 3 storm could potentially produce several tornadoes. This as the Bahamas Department of Meteorology issued a tropical storm watch for the central Bahamas. That means tropical storm conditions can affect Cat Island, Exuma, Long Island, Rum Key, and San Salvador within 48 hours. Those residents have been urged to make preparations as they could experience heavy rains and gusty winds through from Friday night into Saturday morning. Meanwhile, the southeast Bahamas remains under hurricane warning. That is Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklins, Long Key, and Semanaki. According to the Met Office, residents on those islands may begin to experience strong tropical storm conditions by tonight. Still to come on our news, work on Stephen Dillard School suffers another setback. And a little later, a single mother wins $250,000. Stay with us.